So at one level, you could say, well, this is great. Why can't I just sort of sit back, pop the champagne, and enjoy the savings? When you guys are ready with the technology, let me know. I'll buy the trucks and I'll enjoy the savings. The problem is that innovation doesn't work that way. Right? Those are not savings that are going to go to everyone. Those are the savings that go to those who figure out how to capture them first and faster than the others. So we have a long history of technologies that at one level seem like they would be just great benefit to existing market leaders, but have changed the business models and operating environments in those industries to destroy market leaders. So if you think about technology, Kodak literally invented the technology behind digital cameras. But for 30 years, they could never shift their business and operating model to take advantage of that technology, and disappeared. So it was not a lack of understanding of the technology. It was an inability to adapt to that technology over time. Newspaper industry thought that the internet would simply be a great, better, faster, cheaper channel between their customers, advertisers, and consumers. And for years, they would argue that the internet is a good thing, not a bad thing. And of course, we know that the newspaper industry has been destroyed by internet advertising. Right? To the point where the Washington Post, the iconic Washington Post, was sold a few months ago for $250 million to the man who built the Kindle. Ironic in that. $250 million, that purchase price of the Post, you put that in context, was less than 0.1% of the market value of Google at the time. Borders thought the internet was nothing more than a better channel to the consumers, to the extent that initially they outsourced their online sales to Amazon. And they could never develop business and operating models that integrated that new technology, that new channel, with their existing businesses, and went out of business. So what I want to make sure we do in the course of talking about the technology in front of us is to realize that we're not just talking about faster, better, cheaper trucks. We're talking about technology that can change the whole ecosystem around those trucks. So when you decide whether or not you want to experiment with this technology, when you decide whether or not you want to invest in the adoption of this technology, know that the ecosystem around you doesn't stand still. The trucks and the capabilities will change the expectation of the shippers, of your customers. It'll change how you operate. There are a whole series of questions that you'll have to get right in order to take advantage of the technology. And they're very hard questions. Right? They're questions around how you reimagine logistics and supply chains. They're questions like these. What are the economics involved in the new businesses that incorporate this technology? How does it affect industry structure? Is it going to drive a wave of consolidation, where it's better to be big and therefore there are players that will get bigger and bigger and bigger? Or will somebody be able to create network effects that take advantage of alliances of small players through information technology and data and logistics, all the things you'll be talking about over the course of this event? What is the new customer behavior, right, in the context of this technology? So the guys from Google have to worry very hard about how drivers interact with this technology at one level, and Anthony, I think we'll talk a lot about the interface. I'm talking about a different level of interaction, different level of customers. Right? How do shippers change their expectations around you? How do they change how they organize their activities? How do they change their values around how they evaluate how you serve them? That kind of customer behavior will naturally change. How do you organize? How do you organize your business? How do you organize your assets? How do you distribute them? How do you get them? How do you develop the infrastructure to get your vehicles to the right point at the right time in this new context? And how do you transition? right? How do you think about this large capital investment that will change not only your investment profiles, but also change how the industry rolls over its fleet over time? These are all elements of how you capture the value, which you'll have to think about at the same time as you think about the technology itself.